True channel here. So I want to play this little video clip here, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Jordan Maxwell talking about basically how sports have overcome America. They're America's favorite pastime. They're it's adults, grown adults, basically obsessed and fantasizing about a little kid's game where they, you know, throw a little pigskin football, and it's a little game. It's a little, now they've turned it into a big entertainment spectacle. It's a Broadway show, and that's exactly what it is. And it's just entertainment. It's what legally classified as entertainment for a reason. It's not classified as um, a sport. It's not classified as a sporting event. It's sporting as entertainment venue for they claim for tax reasons, but no, that's because that's what they have to declare it legally, and they know to do if they declare it a sporting entertainment and they get caught somehow, some way, somebody gets mad and actually comes out and has the evidence to out them, and then they're in big trouble and they lose all credibility, and it's a big thing, and then yada yada yada. So they knew, because it was started by Freemasons, it was started by mobsters. You can look it up, going all the way back to the 1850s. I want to say 1859. I want to say right around there. It was created in England. In an English lodge, they created a version of soccer. Obviously, football. Obviously, we know it as soccer in America. And then they also, on the same day, they created American football. So they both was created on the same day, soccer and American football. So let me turn this up, guys. I don't think you guys can hear it.
It's overwhelmingly obvious to anybody that studies it. The entire superstructure of Western civilization is based on a cult.
So before we get started, though, I want to say everybody knows that the NFL is scripted. If you have any intelligence, that it's rigged. That they make so much money. There's so much betting going on. You guys wouldn't believe the bets, the parlays that people make. I mean, these people are betting. They're betting in game, before. They're betting before game, in game, pre game, during the game. I mean, up until the last few minutes of the game, they're making all kinds of bets. Hey, so and so is gonna win by these many points. So and so is gonna get this many yards. So and so is gonna do this. So and so is gonna do that. And they're making all these bets, and people are, making so much money off of it, supposedly, but really they're losing. They don't realize it. It's there, though, to keep as a distraction, to keep you entertained and occupied. It's the same thing Caesar did, with the gladiators and everything else. You got to keep a population docile. You got to keep them dumbed down. Give them an education system, a so-called education system, which really it's a propaganda system where they really just teach you lies, and they teach you what they want to teach you. But we'll talk a little bit after the video.
Astrology, occult symbols, mystical symbols, words and terms, but the masses of the people have no idea in the world and the reason why the people in Western civilization do not know any of this, and it's foreign to hearing those people hearing me.
Their school systems, they're dumbed down. Same thing Caesar did, guys. It's the same thing, okay? And I'm going to have to pause it every now and then and talk, because obviously I can't let it play all the way through, in one full motion. But yeah, it's the same thing Caesar did. You keep them dumbed down, docile, many ways to do that. They do that with a lot of ways. And then you give them food, you give them hungry, you give them their bread, and you give them their circuses. You keep them occupied, and then they're not going to ask any questions.
I mean, this stuff is totally foreign, and I understand that. It's because this kind of subject, which I have been looking at for 50 years, this kind of subject has nothing to do with basketball, football, tennis, golf balls, soccer, nothing to do with all the silly games that our masters have given us kids to play with. Give them a ball and let them go out and play, so that they don't think too much about what the bosses are doing behind the scenes. Exactly. Well, I never bought into this, go out and play ball, even as a child. I didn't want to go out and play ball when friends were coming over to visit my family, and they would tell us kids, go out and play ball. That, to me, even as a kid, I knew it means the adults want to talk about something, and they don't want you children hearing it. I wanted to stay. I would always tell my dad, I don't want to go out and play ball. I want to know what you guys are talking about in the front room when the women are out in the kitchen. I want to hear what the men are talking about, because that's where the action is. So I don't want to be out watching a ball game while the people who claim to be our masters and own us are playing games with our lives behind the scenes and manipulating us, and we are so stupid we buy into it. I have never bought into stupidity and ignorance. I've always known that there's more to the story than meets the eye.
Well, they did that even back in Rome to distract everybody. They would have big games at the Colosseum.
That's right. We still have it in L.A. Everybody goes to the Colosseum. And we have cage fighting and martial arts and, all the prize fightings and wrestling, WrestleMania. All of this is entertainment for the masses. And then we have the audacity to actually ask God for protection.
Bingo. That's exactly what it is. It's entertainment for the masses. It's your bread and circuses. That's it. Not to mention all the Satanism that goes on that's involved with it. These people are all professional actors. Not only are they athletes, but they're professional actors. Not only are they professional athletes, but they're athletes. So they're very athletic, so there's just like you're watching a movie, but they're athletic. That's just what these people are. They're not paid to win, they're paid to play. This is the circus. Okay, and it's written out they have storylines, who they're gonna push this, certain seasons, at certain times. Hey, we're gonna push this. Hey, we're gonna go with these storylines, because if you haven't noticed, it's all about storylines. They even said, that's why they always say, you couldn't script it any better, or we script so many plays from the start to the end or halftime. They're scripting it. This is a script. It's being written, and they're looking for the best story, the best storylines. That's what the whole rigging and scripting goes to. Yes, it's about money. Yes, it's about Satanism. They got to put their symbols in there. They got to have, their athletes, the ones that all the youth look up to. They have to have them flashing their devil horns, their 666s, and their and all their other devil horn curses and everything else that they just flash at everybody and nobody sees to pick up on. Everybody thinks they're saying I love you, and people will argue till they're blue in the face and they have no clue what they're talking about, not knowing that Helen Keller herself was a high-ranking occultist, a member of the Theosophian Society. I want to say it's how it's pronounced. Theosophian Society. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. She was a part of it. She's a member of other satanic cabals, and she guaranteed was a Freemason, more than likely. I don't have evidence that's saying of what lodge she was that I can guarantee it, but I've seen poses and pictures of her doing hand signs, so she's definitely one of them. All these players, it's a brotherhood, and they're vetted in college. That's why they only bring in certain players, and any of the ones that aren't a part of it, they don't get the scholarships. That's why you see a lot of it now. It's family to family to family with the players. It's sons of former stars, is the ones, that's making it. But the ones that make it to the big times are part of they're a part of the brotherhood one way or the other. They're a sellout. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Protection and divine guidance. It's ludicrous on the face of it. America is lost because she is crawling on her knees to her masters and have no idea in the world what's going on. Americans are not very well read. They're profoundly ignorant when it comes to law and how governments work, how banks work. I'm just amazed at how far gone this great republic has lost all of its freedoms, its dignity, its honor. It's lost everything.
And they are so foolish that they think that they've chosen this society, that this is what we've all selected on, we've all agreed on, this is the way of life, how it should be. We've all agreed on this, that this is just a naturally agreed on thing. No. We were enslaved. We were enforced upon us, going back to the late 1700s, uh, early 1800s, where they wanted all this reformage, and change, and they were gonna put in their government systems and their schoolhouses, and you were going to listen and send your kids to the school. You were going to abide by their rules, or they were going to run you out. They were going to kill you. They were going to make sure that you didn't get the food that you needed for your feed, for your animals. They would starve you out. They had ways, and if flat out starving you off or running you off your land didn't do it, or scaring you, then they would actually murder you, and there would be bloodshed that happened for them to implement this whole American way, American society. This was slowly implemented. It wasn't like society had gotten together and chosen and said, hey, these are the 10 best solutions of how we should live, and this is what we choose. No. If you notice, every country is ran like this. Just about every major country or big country that's has an airport where you fly in and out of, they're all set up the same way with big major cities and big factories, and they're all set up the same way. No one lives the old way. Nobody lives the way you're supposed to. You think that's by coincidence? No, it's by design.
And the people of our country have no concept at all and what's going on at all. All we know is we are dying, we're starving, our republic is crashing, our money is corrupt, our politicians are corrupt. You're looking at the fall of the Roman Empire. And yet, the most incredible part of this is the people love it. You will never get the people to understand who their real enemy is. The American people love crawling on their knees to their masters. They love it. So there's just an awful lot of material out there, but most people are too busy watching basketball to fool with any of it. Besides, it doesn't make much sense because it has nothing to do with soccer or anything else that we consider to be very important right now. Because I'm tired of just talking to the masses, because I'm 70 years old. I don't have many more years on this earth. I've spent 50 years pursuing this kind of knowledge. I am aware.
Now, I'm not going to play the full video. I'll leave the link for you guys to go watch the full video. Now, Jordan Maxwell was no hero. He was no saved man. He was a Satanist, a Freemason, an Illuminatus himself, as most people are. Sadly, that claim to be truthers, all these Bill Hicks, Alex Jones, I'm trying to think of the Bill Cooper, is that his name? Bill Cooper, whoever the first guy from the 70s, John Todd. I mean, you go back, they're all fake. They're all Ted Gunderson. They're all government CIA agents, former FBI agents, former government agents. And they're gatekeepers, they're paid shills, paid agents, where they have knowledge, because they're part of the brotherhoods, they're part of the cults, so yes, they're given knowledge, but a lot of times it's the knowledge that they give out is knowledge that they've been told, either they've been green lighted that, hey, we want you to put this out, this is what you can talk about, or he actually goes to them and gets permission and gets green light to say, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to, blah, 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 blah. But understand, he's not giving you the full truth. He'll sit there and lie to you and tell you that there's aliens and all kinds of other people that and other things, and that there's no God and it's all made up. And so he will definitely give you some truth, but like most truthers and sadly like most pastors, 90% of it's it's rat poison. 90% of it, there's a lot of truth in there, there's a lot of good stuff in there, but it's that 10%, that 15%, whatever percentage it is, it's different for each person. It's rat poison. So understand that they're mixing their rat poison in, and that's how they do this. They do it by mixing their rat poison in, and that's how they get you to buy it. If just like with the rat wouldn't eat the rat poison if it just smelled bad, looked bad, and tasted bad. Obviously, it's got to have certain appealing effects. So the rat's got to go up to it. It's got to look good. It's got to smell good. It's got to get its attention. And then finally, when he's got to taste it, it's got to taste good. And then he tastes it, and it's strychnine in it. It's too late. He's already tasted it. It's too late. It's dead. It's poison. He's going to die. that's how it is with these people. They're sending people to hell, and a lot of times it's too late before people realize it because they go to their grave believing a lot of this stuff. So these people are no heroes. Yes, you can get truth from them, but understand that I'm not pushing this guy at all. He's not somebody that I would say, hey, go watch Jordan Maxwell videos. So, with that said, though, I did think there was a lot of truth in there, what he said about the sports. As you guys are well aware, it's scripted, it's rigged, it's entertainment for the masses, for the sheep. Let them bet their hard-earned money on, let them go spend their money going to their games, put all their energy in. Not even talking about the whole occult aspect to it, but just thinking about all the energy that people invest with their teams winning and losing, and just last minute field goals and last second catches, and just all that stuff is just so it plays a special a special role in your brain. It releases chemicals, endorphins, when certain things happen, and you actually can end up being addicted to sports and being and people don't even realize you can become an addict. And a lot of these so-called fans are addicts, and they don't even realize that they're addicted. They couldn't go a week without sports. They have them, go away without sports for a year or two. They couldn't do it. They wouldn't want to do it. So, with that said, guys, God bless you all. I appreciate it. I've been meaning to put this out there for a while. It's just a short little clip, just a short little video. I probably rambled on a little bit more than most people would like, and I do apologize, but it's important to put some of this information out there and some of this context in there along with the video. So with that said, like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate all you guys, and God bless you all.